Hey everyone, this is DWS Darius and welcome back to the fish room. So today I want to give you guys an update. I want to show you some of my aquariums and show you what's been going on. We have made quite a few changes, some intentional, some not so intentional. I lost some fish. I ended up buying a lot more fish. And pretty soon I'm going to be changing a lot of things around. I want to add some more tanks down here to the fish room. So yeah, I want to give you guys a look at what's going on. And we're going to start off with this tank behind me. This is my 125 gallon aquarium. And this tank is being used for so many different purposes. That's the reason why I have to start some new aquariums. So to the right, you can see we have the divider, and I have my male Feste. Previously, I think the last video I showed you guys, he was in this aquarium just freely swimming around. But one day he just went rogue and he started attacking everybody. And, I'm trying to grow out some other Festes, so of course he's going to be more aggressive towards them. I actually think this one is a male. So male on male aggression is always the worst. And on top of that, he was attacking everybody else in the aquarium. So I went and I tossed up the divider, and as you can see, the fish, they don't mind being on this side of the divider. They have full access to the other side. This guy, when he wants to, he swims right behind and comes with these other fish. They just like being over here because these guys are aggressive among themselves. But yeah, he's in here, and you can see him in the little cave over there. I did try to sell him, but nobody wanted him for a fair price. I'm going to keep him. I'm going to hold on a little bit longer. And my goal is to eventually have one of these Festes pair up. I'm hoping that one of the three is a female. This largest one is showing signs of being a male. The second largest one is also showing signs of being a male. But I'm hoping that the smallest one right here, which is about 2.5 to 3 inches, I'm hoping that that is my lucky female. And I've been trying to get a female Feste for the longest, and I just always end up with male. So hopefully that one is my female. So yeah, I told you guys that this tank is serving multiple purposes. One, I'm holding a Feste in that right side of the tank. Two, I'm growing out a bunch of fish. So we have the carpenter cichlid. I showed you guys him. He was living in my 350, but the fish were too big. They were intimidating him too much, so I decided to bring him back over here. And he's the king of this aquarium. He's super aggressive towards everybody. And like I showed you guys, we have the 3 Feste. The largest one is about maybe 5 to 6 inches. Very beautiful fish, and definitely showing signs of being a male. Second largest one, showing the same characteristics, looking like a young male. And then we have the smallest, the tiniest, and I'm hoping that this is a female. Besides that, we have my tilapia. I'm using these as thither fish. Hopefully in the summer I could take them outside, put them in a pond, and just reproduce them and eventually use them as feeders, which is unfortunate, but they definitely are a good fish to breed for feeding my predatorial fish. We have one random African cichlid. This guy was living upstairs. His brother is the dominant male in the tank. And like I mentioned, male on male aggression is always the worst, so he was getting bullied. And I'm bringing him down here, and he's definitely living a better life for now. And then we have 2 new guys. We have a FiShrOOm. So this is a normal variant of the FiShrOOm. I have a pink FiShrOOm in my 350, which you'll see later. This is a normal variant, and he's definitely a very cool looking fish. Can't wait till he grows up. Same thing with this fish. This is a Vieja Zonatus, and it's going to be more blue added to my 350 once he's large enough. And another purpose of this aquarium is this is my turtle tank. So my last fish room tour, I showed you guys I had a turtle that I rescued. He was living in the backyard, and I had to bring him in here. And this is this guy today. He's actually doing pretty good, and I actually enjoy seeing him in this aquarium. I was hesitant to bring this turtle into the house because you can't really have a turtle in a fish tank. You got to actually convert the fish tank into a turtle tank. So we have the whole setup. We have this little sunbathing, a little pool. So I bought it for $25. It actually works out pretty cool. It sits right here on the little brace. It's not a lot of weight. It's plastic, so it's not really doing any damage or stress to the brace. The turtle's able to climb up here, and he gets about 3 hours of UV light, and he's up there every day. He also has a huge appetite. He's eating my pothos, my stick lettuce, and there you can see some of the scraps left over. But he's actually a very interesting creature to have in this aquarium. Where is he? He's down here. Pretty interesting. I like to see the way he interacts with the fish. He's not really aggressive towards them. Instead, they're pretty aggressive towards him. Not in a way to harm him, but it's definitely cool watching them interact. So yeah, that is my 125 gallon aquarium. A lot of stuff going on in this tank, and that's the reason why eventually, oh look, he's a handsome fish. That's the reason why I'm keeping him. He is wild caught. These other ones are not wild caught. He is wild caught, so that makes him a little bit more special. So hopefully we can work things out with him. But yeah, I want to get more tanks set up so that one, I could take the turtle out of this aquarium. Two, I could put the Feste somewhere, and eventually this will be a 125 grow out aquarium. And I'm going to actually build a new stand, and it's going to be a double 125. This one on top, and on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and take a Dynamis from over here and put them on that stand. That way we could get the full view of this 125. And this guy is still doing great, super interactive. He shows color when he wants to. So I found out that he doesn't like cats. He doesn't like dogs, and he definitely doesn't like my feet. He goes insane. I don't know, because maybe my feet is like yellow on the bottom, and yellow is his main color when he's happy or when he's excited, and he finds my feet to be competitive, but he goes crazy when I show him my feet. So definitely interesting behavior. But yeah, he's going on the bottom of that 125, and I think when I move him, I'm going to go ahead and try to introduce him or reintroduce him to his female Dovite. I tried before, but they were about the same size, and she definitely gave him a beating. Now he's about 3 times her size, so I think that he definitely will dominate, and it won't be a fight, and hopefully they can pair up and just cause him or encourage him to show more color. So yeah, eventually I'm going to take this 125 and I'm going to move it, and on the right side I'm going to put a 75-gallon aquarium. On the left side we're going to turn this 40-gallon aquarium around so that we can see the full view of it, and I have a 20-gallon that I'm going to toss on the left side of this 40-gallon aquarium. Eventually I may put another 75-gallon over here, but for now I'm just working with the tanks that I already have. So right here is a 40-gallon aquarium. I'm currently using this as a grow out, and we definitely have some cool species in this tank. Starting off, the yellowfish are small electric yellow labs. I have a pair in my 210-gallon aquarium, and one day I found my female holding eggs in her mouth, and I was like, let me just try to strip her, see if I still got it. So I stripped her and I raised it to fry, and here we are today. We have a small colony of 11 yellow labs. You can also see we have some clown loaches. I wanted to get these fish because they were honestly on sale. I didn't actually plan on getting them. I was just shopping around, saw that they were at a good price, so I bought 9 of them. Now, unfortunately, clown loaches are prone to the ick disease, and these guys definitely have the ick disease. I'm not too stressed because I've dealt with this disease or this parasite many times, and I know that all you have to do is bump up the temperature, add some salt, and you will cure it. Now, these clownfish are a little bit sensitive to salt, so I'm not going to use the salt. I'm going to try to treat it with just heat and water changes and see if we can find some success. After that, we have in the center a rostratus cichlid, Cribroherus rostratus, a cool Central American cichlid. I'm growing this guy out for the 350 up here. I have 2 of them, and they're great sand sifting cichlids, and eventually these guys, they belong in that 125 that I showed you guys first, but they were too small. So eventually, once I get everything settled and I get the Feste out of that aquarium, these rostratus will be going with those guys. Same thing with this small Cynospilum, another Vieja, very beautiful. Camera not really focusing, but this guy is about 1 inch and already showing some pink on the head and some pretty nice colors. And then we also have a small Vieja Melanora. I definitely said that wrong, but another Vieja, and we have one more Vieja somewhere. That might be him back here. All these guys are super tiny. That's the reason why they're over here. But eventually these Vieja will be going in the Central American grow up behind me, and they're going to look awesome because they're already showing decent color. And then we have the main attraction, the star. I'm definitely falling in love with this fish. And this is my African tiger scat, a true freshwater scat. Most scats, they're brackish, and eventually if you don't give them some salt in their water, they will die. And I read that that's not the case with this African scat. This is a true freshwater scat. I saw these fish a while ago. I just never was brave enough to pay the high price because these guys are pretty pricey. I paid $75. $75 was a decent deal for this little guy. I bought him when he was about the size of a nickel, and now he's a little bit bigger than a quarter, and this guy just has so much personality. You know, you look at this fish and you think that he's going to behave like a tetra or like a silver dollar, which is pretty much a dull fish, but that's not the case. He's pretty much like a cichlid. He almost behaves like a saltwater fish when it comes to just how smart he is and how interactive he is. Very beautiful fish. You can see he just chased away the cichlid, so he has some boldness. And he's definitely a stud. So he's probably going to grow to about 6 inches at maximum size. And I plan to put him in my 210-gallon aquarium with the colony of electric yellow labs and also these clown loaches. So definitely a cool fish. Currently my most expensive fish that I bought, but he's definitely worth it. Earlier today I put in a whole chunk of lettuce and he ate it all, well, almost all of it by himself. And he's definitely a greedy fish. He's always front and center begging for food, and definitely a rock star of a fish. So next we have my 350-gallon aquarium. Now this is where we saw most of the losses, well, all of the losses that I've experienced recently. I lost another one of my Vieja bifasciatus, which is this species right here. I lost my female, so now I have one female right here, and then I have 2 males, one right there in the back, and the dominant male over here. I lost my Vieja argentea, and then the last time I showed you guys my Vieja brahota was injured. I lost him, and that's the reason why I have a juvenile growing out. It definitely sucked to lose those fish. These fish have been growing. I bought all of these fish the same size as those fish down there. It took me years to get them to this size, and it sucked to lose them. I believe most of them died because of aggression. I told you in my last FiShrOOm tour that my festae started the aggression, and from the festae they just kept picking on each other, and they would single out a fish and everybody would attack that one fish, and that's how we got to where we are today. Right now it does seem like everything has calmed down. The only aggression that I really see is between the 2 male Vieja bifasciatus. But yeah, definitely huge devastations in this aquarium. And that's the reason why I bought all those other Central American cichlids. Now I'm not going to wait for those other Central American cichlids to catch up in size because it's going to take too long. Instead I'm going to do a rescape. I'm going to take out some of these major predators like the female dovie. She's going down with this guy. And I'm going to try to add these other cichlids when they're about 3 inches minimum. And I believe they're going to grow up together and hopefully they just coexist a lot better. These bigger guys, because they're already bigger, they're going to hold the higher position in the hierarchy. And I'm pretty much trying to manipulate the hierarchy by having these larger fish mixing with the smaller fish. Obviously the larger fish are going to be the more higher ranking, and hopefully the hierarchy just stays balanced because of that. So yeah, the fish that we have in this aquarium, I showed you guys the 3 bifasciatus. Female dovie, eventually I plan on taking her out. We have Endonymus and we have his sister. She's actually very beautiful. She's a jaguar dovie hybrid. She shows that nice golden color a lot. She is a little bit territorial, but she doesn't cause any damage. This is the pink Finistratus. Earlier I showed you guys the regular Finistratus. So this is a female. Hopefully I have a male. We can get a pair from them. A female parasite, a queen of the aquarium. I've had this fish for so long, no problems. She's a beautiful fish. We have the black belt. He's actually calmed down with his aggression. He was very aggressive before, but now he's pretty much the owner of the left side of the tank, so he's pretty content with that. And then we have this beautiful lady right here. This is my Starry Night cichlid. Very gorgeous fish, and she doesn't really cause too many problems. She just likes to eat. You can see she does kind of have a little fat belly. Eventually I do want to take her upstairs, and when she is upstairs, it's going to be her. There's going to be the African scat. It's going to be those African cichlids, and I believe it's definitely going to be a very entertaining aquarium. So yeah, that is this aquarium. Eventually, once I make all my changes, I'm going to do a major rescape, and I'm going to add the fish that are already big enough, like my Carpentis and some of the red terrors. The red terrors, I don't plan on keeping them long term, just short term. But yeah, I'm going to add the fish to this aquarium, and hopefully we can get some balance with the aggression. Okay everyone, so the last tank down here in the fish room is my largest aquarium, and this is my 880-gallon fish tank. Now the fish, they're looking good, they're growing. However, there is a conflict, and the conflict is that you only see about 3 fish at a time. And that's because we do have an aggressor, and that is actually my smallest peacock bass, my Cycla mono, this guy right here. Very beautiful fish. He's pretty much an A+ quality peacock bass, picture perfect. He has gold, he has blues, he has red, he has a nuchal hump. But this guy is just very aggressive, mainly towards my other peacock bass. And he's not really causing too much damage. He's not injuring them. He's just annoying. He's always flaring at them. He's always shaking and trying to encourage them to fight him. And these guys rather stay up here than to come down. So we have my beautiful turquoise Orinoco cichlid, who's bigger than him. The Orinoco is probably about, if I had to guess, he's about 18 inches, while this smaller guy is about 16 inches. Same thing with my other mono, second biggest fish in the tank at about 20 21 inches. And lastly, my azul, again, another fish that's bigger than the mono. All of them prefer to stay up here than to come down here and be bothered by the smaller mono. Now, normally this wouldn't be a problem because at the end of the day, the tank is still at peace. And these peacock bass, they don't really do much. They pretty much just stay stationary anyway. However, I'm 6 feet tall, and when I do look at the tank, like I mentioned, I only see about 3 or 4 fish. We see the bully, we see the pike because nobody bothers the pike, and we see the big guy because nobody bothers the big guy. But I'm missing out on so much beauty because of this guy. So my solution is going to be to try to do a rescape. Right now, it's just too much of an open concept, and I believe that if I toss some driftwood in there, break the line of sight, it's going to allow these other peacock bass to create some territories. Unfortunately, that will create some more aggression. However, that will cause me or allow me to see the other fish in this aquarium. And by the way, this guy is shooting back and forth because he's fighting his reflection. That's how aggressive and how much energy this guy has, and that's the reason why they stay up here. But yeah, we have the biggest fish in the tank, my record, my crown, beautiful fish, and just always looking for food. This fish has to be now, he's trying to reach 30 inches, right? He's not there yet, but he's trying so hard, and I just love how beautiful he is. I'm saying he, I actually believe is a female cichlid temensis, but very beautiful fish, and I'm just always watching out for food. And then this guy right here, definitely doing great. This is my Messelharris Geoffrius. This guy is about maybe 18 inches, and I'm definitely very impressed with the size of this fish. I believe I might have a record. He's definitely a beast of a fish. He's actually the second ranking fish in this aquarium after this guy. He actually defeated my pike, who nobody else was willing to challenge because the pike is just insane. So yeah, that Messelharris Geoffrius is definitely our trophy of a fish. We have the catfish down here. I want to get these guys out. They're cool and all, but I want to get them out because I don't know, I just don't want them in this aquarium. And then we have my ghost knife. He's in the corner over there. And then we have my female jaguar. She also likes to stay in the shadows. She's older and she doesn't really like the energy of these younger fish, so she stays in the shadows. And like I always say, I do want to catch that jaguar and put her in my Central American aquarium. I just can't do it now because eventually I'm going to add those smaller fish, and she definitely is a predator, and I don't want her eating up those little fish. And then we also have a Elacheri bitcher. I wanted to get this guy out, but I'm also curious to see how big I could get him in this aquarium. When I bought this Polypterus, he was about 3 inches, and right now he's about 18 inches, and he's behind that rock, so you're not going to see him. But he definitely is a cool fish. So yeah, that is the last tank in the fish room. It's a cool tank, it's cool fish, but I just need them to get along better so that I can actually enjoy them while I'm standing up, or even while I'm sitting down. I want to actually be able to see the beauty of my azul, of my Orinoco, because there definitely are some beautiful fish. So yeah, I might be doing some rescapes pretty soon. Okay everyone, so the last stop is going to be at my 210 gallon aquarium. Now I do have some other aquariums, and I also have a backyard pond, but we're going to stop it here because the video is getting kind of long, and those setups are pretty much the same since the last time that you saw it. So I will be making quite a few changes to this tank. As you saw, I do have fish growing out for this aquarium, and I do want to take fish out of this tank. The first change I'm going to make is with the aquascape. I definitely got to change it. Now the center blocks, they were cool. The fish, they love them. However, the look is expired. I want to go with something more natural. And then I just want to change up the color as far as the fish. I love the activity level. I just need better color. And you can see how bright those yellow labs are. That's the reason why I decided to breed them in the first place. So I'm going to try to bring up that colony up here. I'm going to try to bring up the clown loaches. And then I have the African scat. Now we're going to have those guys that's growing out. We're also going to have these tiger barbs. We're going to have the bala sharks for some size. We're going to have the roseline sharks. I'm probably going to keep the rainbows in here. I have 2 of those turquoise rainbows, and then I have some Bosmani rainbows in here. And then this guy I'm going to keep in here, OB peacock. I might take this guy out because he's a little bit too aggressive, and I'm definitely going to be taking out these gourami because they don't like the current in this aquarium. I'm going to have to try to catch some of these babies out of here because this tank is just crawling with baby African cichlids. But yeah, definitely a lot going on with this aquarium. I definitely broke a lot of rules when it comes to mixing fish. I'm mixing African cichlids with some Central American cichlids. You can see I have that convict in there. I'm mixing just all types of fish. Just trying to find that perfect look. Like I said, I like the activity level. I just need a nice color scheme. And I do believe that those bright yellow labs the African scat, the clown loaches. I believe that that will be the perfect look. If not, I will be making changes after that. I also have a nice green phantom pleco. Before I was keeping this guy in my 350 and you can never see him, but now in this aquarium this tank is more peaceful, so he stays right here underneath that rock. He was just on top of the rock. He went under as soon as I started recording. But yeah, that is my 210 gallon aquarium. It's always nice to come and take a peek up here because we have a nice canopy of plants growing aquaponically. We have ferns just coming out of nowhere. But yeah, definitely a very nice aquarium. And this is definitely my most favorite tank to feed because of the energy level. So yeah, I want to keep that energy level. I just want to get a better color scheme. As far as the compatibility with all these fish together, so far no problems. The African cichlid is a little bit territorial, but nothing too major. And I hope they keep it the same way. I believe that when I keep the yellow labs in here, they're going to be a colony among themselves and are not going to really bother anybody else. But yeah, that is this aquarium. That is a better look at that green phantom pleco. And that is the end of this video. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.